Since I was a little boy and up until 5 years ago, 6 years ago, we could make a living just 6 or 7 miles in back of Block Island all winter long. My name is Christopher Brown. I'm a commercial fisherman out of Point Judith. I've been fishing since 1976. We've become the gold standard for how to manage fisheries around the globe. We are the frontline conservationists now.
Christopher Brown continued to discuss the shifts within warming waters. He highlighted that species that do not show up until the middle of May are beginning to show up in the second or third week of April, including scup, sea bass, and squid.
In the last 10 years, it's just been the droning on of climate change and an amplification of some of the effects. We're seeing different species. We're seeing migrations of traditional stocks. They last longer in the fall. They don't leave. Things that used to leave in October, November stick around till New Year's.
Another devastating outcome of warming waters is that these conditions are favorable for parasites. These parasites have driven up mortality rates for the yellowtail flounder. Brown discussed this species was once nicely recovered after being overfished, but once again, the stock levels have decreased significantly as a result of a warmer climate.
You know, we don't have the winters we used to have. The ponds, the estuaries, Narragansett Bay, Point Judith Pond, Charleston Pond don't freeze over. It doesn't sound like a big deal unless you're a juvenile flounder and you're preyed upon by cormorants. We've been down this road before, capitalization of our oceans translating to immediate environmental degradation. We've seen this.
Brown briefly overviewed the historical lack of regulation in the commercial fishing industry and the ways it disrupted marine life at the time.
We participated in the biggest stock decline in the history of the U.S. fishery.
He stated this is the result of the absence of fishery research. He adds that for the past 50 years, they have been trying to restore the stock levels, but because of climate change, some species may not be recovered.
Despite last year being a good year for squid stock, Brown noted that he has to travel longer distances to make up for the insufficient stock of other species closer to home. This is especially difficult with fuel prices being expensive, and because of this, Brown said that commercial fishers now have to go slower, increasing their travel time.
It's important that people understand that the ocean is the largest economic engine on the face of the earth and responsible for our survival. It provides oxygen, it cools our planet. There is no way to exist on the planet without a healthy ocean. There's no one who gets it like whose livelihood is wedded to ocean health. That person gets it. And let us provide your children and your grandchildren with an ocean that was full of as much promise as the one that I had presented to me.